This is David Bert with another stop along the way. There is probably no more enduring symbol of the American West than the wild Mustang.
They are freedom. They are wide open spaces. They are a fulfillment of, I think, most little kids' dreams of being cowboys or cowgirls, and they just embody so many of our own dreams, I think.
Mary Sue Kunz has been monitoring the wild horses at Red Rock Canyon for years now. She's made an avocation of cataloging them and keeping track of their history. I chose Mary Sue to guide us to the wild horses, not just because she knows all the tricks for finding them, but because sometimes you don't get lucky and catch them grazing the baseball field in the city of Blue Diamond. At times like that, when you have to take some old dirt road across the desert, it's nice to have someone with you who has great stories to tell.
What happens is the foal will lay down and take a nap, and Mama's grazing nearby, and the herd gradually grazes farther and farther away, and then all of a sudden the alpha mare, who is the one who decides where we're going, unless the stud wants to argue about it, she'll decide, okay, let's go over there for a while, which may be a mile south. And I've had those colts come running towards my horse when they see another horse out on the desert and they can't find their herd, and they're thinking, are you my mama? Where's my mama? And they're just frantic. The first time that happened, I recognized the foal and knew who his mama was and where they tended to hang out. So I started riding my horse in that general direction, and luckily the foal followed me. Mama looked up and saw that foal and heard it whinnying, and the foal whinnied back and Mama whinnied back, and the violins began to play. So that ended real well. I got them back together. And
there are some places where you're almost guaranteed to find wild Mustangs here in the Las Vegas area. Cold Creek, north of Las Vegas, off of Highway 95, along Highway 160, between the Red Rock Canyon turnoff and the hump to Pahrump, and the baseball field of Blue Diamond. But if that fails, try going off onto one of the dirt roads in the Red Rock Canyon area. It'll take some patience and a keen eye, but they're out there.
You have to kind of look slowly, like I understand you would do if you were hunting for deer. You scan an area and just go over every inch of it slowly with your eyes and until you are sure that you haven't missed something. And then you look again, and by golly, they might be there the second time when they weren't the first time. Here they are, right down. There they are. See, they were right under our noses and we didn't see them till we looked a little bit closer. They don't move very fast unless they're actually traveling for one reason or another. A lot of times when we're out here on horseback and we're scanning an area with our binoculars, that's how we determine if it's horses or a rock. We have an awful lot of Palomino rocks out here. If that rock moves, we know it's not a rock.
Approaching the horses in a truck is pretty easy. You'd be surprised how close you can get to them because over time they've become habituated to vehicles and sometimes barely look up from their grazing as you drive by. But approaching them on foot is an entirely different ballgame.
Your body language has to be very subdued. It helps not to look them right in the eye, and you certainly don't want to walk straight up towards them because you're perceived as a threat. You just kind of mosey at an angle, gradually, very, very gradually, and keep an eye on their body language. If they seem the least bit threatened, you just stop and wait till they kind of relax again.
Should we try to get out and just walk?
Sure.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Let me get out of here. So what's the ideal time of day and time of year for us to come out looking for wild horses?
Oh, any time is a good time for that, but probably the most interesting time is the spring because the foals are on the ground. If we have any flowers, that's when you'll be seeing them. The weather's usually nice, and the horses tend to gather their different family groups together into one larger herd sometimes for protection, so you might see more of them at one time than you would, say, other times of the year.
This is absolutely amazing. I mean, these are wild horses, and we're now within 20 yards of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, keep in mind that we're close to
I know that Mary Sue had something either interesting or important to tell me then, but I have to admit it was lost on me. All I could do was marvel at these majestic beasts. Knowing what they have to do to survive man and the elements make you at once saddened by their plight and elated for their victory. I don't know how much longer they'll be able to roam free on these lands, so if I were you, I wouldn't wait a whole lot longer before going out in search of these great American icons.